But yeah, let me address Javon Quinterly and Juwan Gary's deal. They were suspended for the exhibition for violation of team rules. They will be available for game one, and that's all I'm going to say on that thing. We're moving on, and they've handled themselves very appropriately since. So, look, it was perfect exhibition game, in my opinion. They're a good team. It's the reason we did the charity exhibition against Division I versus a non-Division I, because I think they push you, stretch you. We got plenty of work to do in the next 2 weeks. Plus, obviously when shots are not falling with the way we play, it's going to put a lot of stress on your offense. I thought our defense was outstanding tonight. I think, to figure out how to win a game against a very good team, and Louisiana's good. I mean, they've got high major bigs. They're a good team. To figure out how to win a game when you play as poorly as we did on offense really speaks to the culture that we built, building it around defense. We've got to do a much better job on the offensive side of the ball. Our turnovers were way too high. Our shooting wasn't good. We, that's on me not putting us in the right spots. I didn't think we did a great job getting our guys ready to go against their defense, but I can't say enough about what our defense did tonight. Keon Ellis's defensive performance. Darius Miles came in and played well. Charles, only a freshman. I thought he grew up during the course of the game. He only had 1 rebound midway through the second half. Ended up leading the team with 7 rebounds, him and Shaq. I mean, even Shaq, really probably his worst offensive performance we've seen in a long time around here, but led the team with 7 rebounds. I don't think he's ever going to shoot this poorly in a game again. That's not him. So hopefully he got it out of the way in an exhibition game, and he's good to go on game one. But, we got plenty of work to do offensively. Really happy with JD's play, especially late in the game. Got the big bucket when we needed one. Went to the free throw line, went 4 of 4 late in the game. He went 7 of 7. People wonder, about his shooting. He didn't make a 3 tonight, but he's making them in practice, and he went to the free throw line and made shots. So I was happy with the way he played. I think it was really good for him. First game as a freshman to walk in and play the way he played. So I'll take questions now.
Thank you, Coach. Let's start with Mike on the back left.
You mentioned Charles kind of growing up as the game went on. Just how much of an adjustment period was there for not only him, but all the other younger players and new players, just to the pace of the play and the effort required?
Yeah, I think the biggest adjustment with our new guys was the physicality of the game with the way Louisiana plays, just because they're so physical, play so hard. So I think it took Charles a little while to adjust. Obviously, Jason, JD. Now, JD's a pretty big, strong physical guard. I think he adjusted fairly well pretty quick. But, those are the three. Noah's played a lot of college basketball games before. I think Noah's just got if he starts making some shots, it's going to open up the rest of his offense, and he's just going to have to get in the gym and work and shoot some shots until he starts making some shots. He had 5 really good looks, I think, in the first half. If I remember right, he was 0 for 5 at the half, and I thought all 5 of them were decent looks. So, but it was good. I'm glad we played a tough, physical, hard-playing team like Louisiana for the exhibition, kind of get us adjusted to the physicality of college play out of the gate.
Tony on the left here.
Yeah, Alex Chico didn't play today. What's his status, and will he be available for the opener?
Yeah, he's able to play. He has not been able to practice for very long because of the Achilles injury, so he's still getting back in shape. What we needed, I didn't think he could provide just with where he was at, but he's available. He'll be available for game one as well.
Down the left side, Joey, go ahead.
You guys were 27 of 33 from the free throw line tonight. Considering how the Sweet 16 game against UCLA went from the charity stripe, how big of an emphasis was free throws this offseason, and what did you think of today's performance?
Honest to God, we've talked a little bit about the free throws against UCLA, but we didn't make a huge. I think some of that's mental stuff. Free throws to me is a mental game. You get to the line, you do the same routine, you make shots. Some of that mental stuff, the more you talk about it, the worse it gets. And we've talked about it, saying we were that close to being an Elite Eight with a chance to make a Final Four, and and little things matter, including free throws. So, but it's not like we've added free throw routines to practice, or guys got to get in the gym on their own, shoot them. We're going to do what we do in practice. We have him shoot pressure free throws. But I think it's great. I mean, really, you got a lot of guys. We got Shaq 100%, Keon Ellis 100%, J.D. Davidson 100%. There's your backcourt. Didn't miss a free throw. Darius Miles only missed 1, 3 of 4. Noah Gurley 5 of 6. Outside of Charles, everybody shot it really well. Charles is a big that's going to get fouled, and Coach Hodgson works with our bigs. He said it during the game, Coach, we're going to get this thing fixed, and I got all the confidence in the world that he'll get in there with Charles. They'll get it fixed, and Charles, hopefully he's going 5 of 7, 6 of 7 instead of 3 for 7. But it's big. I mean, shoot, if we don't make the free throws, we don't win tonight. So it is a big deal. As poorly as we shot it from 3, we needed to shoot it well from somewhere.
And Coach, a two-part question. First, I wanted to ask you about I thought one of the biggest sequences of the game, Keon Ellis forces the shot clock violation, really digging in on defense, and then he gets the 4-point play on the other end. He played really well, I thought, on both ends of the floor. And then what does Bediako bring? I mean, it seems as he's going to bring you something different this year because he had 3 blocks in the game, a steal, and I thought he changed a bunch of other shots.
Yeah, no, he definitely gives us something we haven't had since I've been here in rim protection. He's got to figure out how to play with the physicality of a Division I game, but he's long, he's athletic, he reacts to breakdowns well, he goes over and erases mistakes. He's going to give us something. He'll be a lot better for us on offense and rebounding as he adjusts to it. To go back to Keon, I've been telling people Keon Ellis may be the best two-way player in the SEC. I think that short sequence you talked about showed it. He locked up, he blocks the three-point shot. Get the shot clock violation, and then he comes down and hits the 3. He was the one guy that shot it well. You look at our three-point numbers, only 2 guys made a 3, him and Shaq. And Shaq went 1 for 7. So Keon to go 5 for 10. We're going to probably have to try to get him some more quality looks as well as he's shooting it. So, he had a really good game. I think when Quinterly's in there, I think J.D. found him a decent amount. J.D.'s assist-to-turnover ratio wasn't quite where we needed it to be, but I think if guys make shots, his assist numbers would be a lot higher. So some of his assist-to-turnover ratio being upside down is the fact guys just weren't making open shots that he got them.
All right, stay in the middle here in the white shirt, Austin.
Hey, Coach, obviously today was a gritty game. How confident are you in your team's ability to win even when the shots aren't falling?
Yeah, I thought that was the biggest positive coming out of the game. We shot 6 of 30 from 3. Our leading scorer from last year had his worst game he's maybe had since he's been at Alabama, but he's a much improved defender. He still was competing at the end of the game. And this is a game that I think when I got here 2 years ago that we maybe would have dropped. Now we've established a culture that we're not going to let our offense dictate our effort. Whatever we do on offense, we're giving max effort on D, and we're locked in, and we're getting stops. And our offense was awful to start the game out with. But I felt like our defense let us stay in the game long enough to where when our offense did start to come together, we were able to take the lead. I think we bumped it to 10 at one point, if I remember right. And that was – we didn't close the game the way I would have liked. I think we had a 10-point lead about 4 minutes ago. It should have stretched to 15. But, again, they're a good team. They made us pay for some mistakes. And I don't mind having a close game late because we do need to learn how to win some close games late.
Hey, 2 more questions. We'll start on the left here with Katie. Finish with Joe.
I know a lot of this was probably due to the suspensions, but you had 3 guys with 37 minutes in the game. How valuable do you think that was for them to get their endurance tested kind of this early before the season?
Yeah, it's big for those 3. It's, hopefully we don't have to do it again. If Quinterly was in there and we were able to add him to the rotation with those other 3 guys, I've talked a lot about those 4 guards being one of the deepest backcourts and one of the best, when one of those 4 is out, the other 3 are going to have to play a ton of minutes. That's what happened tonight. Now, Darius playing as well as he did. Darius can play some 1, 2, and 3. So, he's going to be, if he can continue to improve and help us a little bit. And Jason, it's his first game as a freshman. I think first game jitters got to him a little bit. Just the attention to detail being locked into a scouting report in Division I is a lot different than high school. We got to get him there because I think he can help us out with some quality minutes. But, yeah, for a minute there I thought Shaq was going to have to play 40 minutes, and then he had a couple turnovers in a row and asked to come out. He's tired. So I got him out. If he didn't ask to come out, he wasn't coming out of the game. So Keon Ellis got a little tired, had to come out for a few minutes. But, yeah, all 3 of those guys I think were 37-plus minutes. So when JQ gets back, hopefully we get him down in the low 30s.
All right, last question.
Coach, how do you think that JD in his first college game out here controlled your offense and ran your offense tonight?
Yeah, I thought he was really good. We didn't do a good job preparing our guys to play against their ice coverage where they kind of down the pick and roll. And I thought for a freshman, I thought he did a really good job adjusting to it. I thought late in the game he was able to beat the coverage, find the backside for some open shots. We hit some, we missed some wide open shots. He, he's got a high IQ. He's got some savvy about him. I mean, you saw late in the game, he went and scored a tough bucket. He goes 4 for 4 at the free throw line. We're going to have him in at the end of games, as good as he is, as talented as he is, and maybe a deal where you play all 4 of those guys together late game where, you're going to switch stuff. If you got a lead and they're trying to get threes, they're not posting guys anyways, you can play Quinterly, JD, Shaq, and Keon all together, and I think it's good that he was able to be in a tight game, his first game in front of fans as a freshman, and play as well as he did. All right, thanks. Appreciate you guys.